GL, the left-hand pane is navigation. This is what you might think of your classic navigation. If you look at any GL application out on the market, Oracle's or our competitors, it's going to look something like this. Manage journals, create journals, etc. But instead, I hope no one ever uses that. And what we try to do is give the accountant, here's what they need. So the first section is a configurable section around account balances. So that's what I do. I kind of manage accounts in GL. The second section is around particular things that require my attention. So these are the exceptions that I talked about, which we surface directly to the user. And both these segments are configurable. I'll show you that in a moment. And the third is, at the end of the day in finance, your job is to get your books closed. So it shows you a graphical representation of a number of different countries or legal entities. Or if I want to look at a single view, let me try launching the other thing. If I want to look at a single view, I could look at that as well. Bring back to yellow. Okay, well that loads. Now, what I'm going to show next, as this loads, and I apologize, this is what we were having some network difficulties earlier. The next thing I'm going to show you is the use of Oracle Web Composer. So one thing to keep in mind is, well, at the beginning, I said I can bring in any region into that home page that I wanted to. So by that I meant I could, if I didn't want to have my HR region, I could have my account balances region, etc. So let me show you how you might do that. So all of our home page are built again using Web Center within Web Composer. So if I'd like, I can go into edit mode, and this basically takes me into the administrative mode of the page itself. And within that page itself, I can do a number of different things. I can obviously remove content by clicking on X. I can move content around, obviously, drag and drop. But I can also add content. And this content could be either Oracle seeded in ADF Taskflow or anything external. So in this case, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a video. I'm going to add a Larry video that came right off of YouTube. Now, you might say, why in the world would you add a Larry Ellison Oracle Open World YouTube video to your financial controllers? That's a very logical and good question. You probably wouldn't. But what would you do? Why would you do it? Well, for this audience, it's kind of a fun thing to do. But for a financial controller, who cares what Larry said? Ultimately. But what might you do? Well, you might do a couple things like the following. Let's say you had a business process change within finance, or you had a pricing change within finance, or you have a Sarbanes-Oxley regulation within finance. So that user assistance that I talked about that's now audio-visual, and you want to quickly communicate that out to everybody. When you, as an administrator, you go and did exactly what I did. You go into edit, you add the content, and every time the controller comes in the next time, at the top of their screen, they see the audio-visual representation of what you want to show. Now, in a minute, I'm going to show you a CRM application. So let's take the CRM application example. So let's say you're right before the end of the quarter, or maybe at the beginning of the quarter,